Radiant team pick.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the iLeague American Qualifier. This is going to be Complexity versus Team EHUG, and I'm going to be Blaze bringing you the action here today. I'm going to have Vykromond join me in just a little bit here, but at least for now, opening up with the draft here. Game 1 of this potentially best of 3, and yeah, starting off with the Troll Warlord is pretty much no surprise at all. The only surprise is that it gets let through the draft, but when you're up against MJW, the Batrider ban seems to be quite respectable. The Lena ban, they've been running that a lot mid, so I mean, it definitely seems to be something that is to be afraid of in general. But yeah, opening up with the Troll Warlord, they're going to have a lot of ways they can go with this. There's tons of heroes that can benefit from the objective taking that he can set up with the Battle Trance. And yeah, we'll be seeing, obviously, just a lot of early to mid-game emphasis from this hero in general. It's no surprise. You guys have seen plenty of them this patch. But answering back, EHUG is going to be going with the Vengeful Spirit versus Shadow Fiend. That is going to be a lot of negative armor between the Presence of the Dark Lord and the Wave of Terror. So just packing a very physical punch and, of course, just able to control the lanes really well. Venge is definitely among like the top 3 Tier 1 supports in this metagame. So 6.84 perhaps on the horizon for now. 6.83, It's been pretty much practiced to death. We've seen a lot of various strategies, but it comes down to maybe 2 or 3, and we kind of know what we're going to be seeing from Complexity here. But just in case you don't know all the players, let's go ahead and introduce the side. Swindlemelons, of course, captaining up with ZYZZY, and Z-Freak. Those are core members of Complexity. But you've got TLK, the Lion King, also known as Simba or Fly My Schneckle, former member of Team Secret and Fnatic. Previously he was playing the offlane, but more recently he's been playing a bit of a supportive role and a roaming role, so we'll see exactly what he brings to the table here. But Riser is an older Complexity member that has barely played with the team for almost 4 months, but he's recovered from a back injury and is back in the game, so we'll have to see what he brings to the table as well. But without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the broadcast old friend of mine. How's it going, Vykromond?
It's going great, Blaze. Did you bring me in right now so I could try to figure out who the stand-in on EHUG is, because neither of us knows?
Yeah, Kawaii Complex is Kawaii Complex, and therefore that's what he shall be named. He's got a private profile and a question mark, so I don't know.
Well, so I'm not sure who's... It's somebody fake-nicking, I think, but he has played a bunch of games in NEL, like in the last couple months on that account. So maybe it's just a player that I'm not super familiar with. Everybody else is the standard EHUG lineup currently, which is Pandago, Corey, most recently of Team Zenith, Infinity, and MJW. So this is like, both rosters are pretty much their standard roster with one stand-in each on each team. So Kawaii Complex has teal, and then gray or olive or drab or whatever people feel like calling it is Fly on Complexity, as you mentioned already.
Yeah, so, I mean, Corey from Zephyr, he definitely showed a lot of prowess on that team, just what he could do when he got a little bit of space. We haven't really been seeing that fulfilled fully in EHUG. Maybe it's a different pace of game than what we saw from him previously. Maybe it's just different opposition that's making it more difficult. But either way, it's still some high expectations of his potential here on the lineup. And yeah, overall, like, I would have to say that Team EHUG have the most improved with their roster shifts. Like, they had a really good roster going into, like, the Major All-Stars qualifier. They qualified for that event, didn't end up going due to some unfortunate circumstances, but yeah, as far as like how they played in that tournament, they looked really strong, and then they switched out a couple of individuals. So still kind of trying to prove themselves on this roster. Complexity, I guess they're just trying to prove themselves with Riser. Like, they've shown what they can do with the 4 former members, but with Riser, he's still getting back into it, and he's still mixing it up with a few various different heroes. Plays a lot of NEL as well, so yeah, we'll see exactly how it's going to play out. I think that Complexity are slightly favored here, but obviously Team EHUG, they are drafting some really good heroes. They know how to play with one another very well through a lot of practice, a lot of scrims, and I think that their draft might be a little bit stronger. What do you think so far?
I think both drafts are quite strong. I mean, Complexity is on Dire. They got Troll as their first pick. It's hard to argue against getting Troll first pick on Dire. It's pretty hard to lose with that champ or hero, whichever. But no, they have Storm, they have Troll, they have Zeus. I actually think it's a really solid core. EHUG's is like strategically more narrow, but It's really, really strong within that strategy. I mean, SF Chen is a really popular combination. Whoever they're going to put on SF, probably Corey, I guess, but they could also put Infinity on it, is going to get a lot of protection. You have a Clock, a Venge, a Chen, so 3 extremely defensive heroes all around the Shadow Fiend. Like, it's really, really solid as long as Shadow Fiend does well, as long as he wins his lane, as long as he wins mid-game. Otherwise, the longer the game goes, the worse it'll probably be for EHUG. They've got these relatively early focused heroes like Chen. Chen has some scaling, but on the other hand, you have Storm, you have Troll, you have Zeus. All these heroes are going to be monsters later on, and Roche control will be big too.
Some are asking about where the Tong Fu North America and Team Tinker match is, and in fact, it has been postponed until tomorrow. So we're going to be seeing
it swapped, right?
Yeah, essentially. So we get this match today, and we'll be seeing those teams go at it to face the winner of this later on. But Complexity picking up the Sand King here. A lot of magic damage coming out for between just the Zeus Storm and the SK, but it does seem to be a little bit greedy. Like, I kind of feel like this has to be a supportive or an offlane Zeus, and even in an offlane, it's going to be a while before he can contribute more than just his ultimate. So factoring all that in, with the Sand King who's going to be focusing in the jungle a lot, I gotta say that I'm a little bit worried that they won't be able to get off the ground in the laning phase. So Team EHUG is going to have the more reason to smoke gank up with the Venge Chen, shut down the Storm, give the Shadow Fiend that snowball momentum, and then clock hits 6 and other people start dying quick. I mean, you just don't have great heroes to really get into the fights until maybe 10 to 15 minutes in the game.
I mean, it's definitely a greedier lineup. You're completely right, and EHUG does have that potential to try to snowball the mid lane. In response to that, I mean, Complexity does have some options in terms of their 3 primary... The 3 first heroes they picked are all pretty flexible. Like, they can put... If they're a little more worried about mid, especially before level 6, which they probably should be, they can always hide the Storm Spirit in the safe lane. Put the Troll mid. He's a little bit harder to get at, harder to gank than Storm is before 6. Storm gets a super safe level 6. Clockwork isn't really going to kill the Storm Spirit 1v1. Your Sand King still farms really greedily, and you can slot the Zeus either off lane or support, as the case may be. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's okay, but you're definitely right. EHUG will look to take over the early game very, very strong, and if they do, and they, Chen is stacking creeps as well as generating map pressure, taking tier 1s, Venge is protecting SF, then yeah, they'll have a very, very commanding mid game, which they're doubling down on with the Lycanthrope.
Yeah. I mean, with this roster and this draft, they can pretty much just go ahead, take tier 1 bottom, take tier 1 mid, and then go Roche. And there's very little Complexity can do at that stage in the game to stop them. It's pre-10 minutes. There's no Blink Daggers. You'll get Vision, you'll get a Storm who might Aegis Snatch, but that's about it. And I just gotta wonder, why didn't they pick up something a little bit more defensive, like an Earthshaker? Like, Earthshaker is very popular this patch, not picked up, banned out whatsoever, so... I kind of feel like that would have filled the role that Sand King is going to play here, and would have been able to perform better without the Blink Dagger.
I mean, there's definitely trade-offs. The Earthshaker is much more defensive. Maybe Complexity just feels very confident in their laning phase. Because, I mean, it's basically... The Earthshaker is a very good counter-initiator. He protects your laning phase. He can even make things difficult for the SF in certain situations. But the Sand King gives you, a lot more of that mid-game punch. It's a trade-off, definitely. It's a damage versus laning stability.
Ooh, but the laning phase might be saved right here and now with a simple pickup of the Broodmother. The Venge and Chen aren't the best at dealing with this hero early on, and that definitely implies that at least the offlane is going to be going really well for Complexity. Z-Freak is picking you up, while again, Simba is playing a less orthodox hero than what we've seen him usually. He used to play a lot of Tidehunter, a lot of beefy offlaners. Axe obviously was very common for him, but now he's playing the Zeus, perhaps in a 4 position or 5 position even, and Z-Freak.
Yeah, it's a 5. It's definitely a 5 position Zeus, I think. And so we saw Fly played earlier today with Complexity, also in the Moscow 5 series in, I think it was Starladder, and he was playing 5 position. Like, he played a roaming Potom and I think a Dazzle in the 2 games. And I mean, even going back when he was on Fnatic, he played a very sacrificial 5 role, almost like 6 role, because No Tail would play fairly greedy jungler heroes a lot. So.
Now, just a quick disclaimer, guys. I have not been on camera control in a while. I've recently just started streaming once again, and therefore, if I do mess up a little bit on that, I'm trying to rebound back on some observing practice that I did. But all in all, I'm used to being able to just jump around and pick up information as a co-caster, and if I do that a little bit too quickly, just message me and say that's you need to slow it down a bit. But overall, I'll try to keep it smooth, and we'll take it from here. So I want to note real quick the starting items for the Vengeful Spirit. In particular, getting the double sentry ward and the dust. Does this seem like overkill? I mean, I know the Chen pooled the sentries, so it's only MJW investing in the smoke and dust, but even still, it seems like a hefty investment.
I think in this particular case, it's okay for the Venge to be very sacrificial. In fact, in general, I think Venge makes a very good sacrificial support just because of the quality of her spells, and you want to springboard. They have a lot of heroes who they really want to springboard forward. So,
all right. Well, let's go ahead and check out the side of EHUG real quick here. Pandago rocking that Shen. Pretty much no items to his name. Is going to be in the Radiant Jungle here. Shadow Fiend is actually going to be looking at the safe lane. A great way to deal with the Broodmother. Just get those raises out early on against him. So Infinity will get that bounty rune and put himself halfway to that level 2. Anyways, the other support we already mentioned, MJW Venge. That leaves mid lane to be a Corey or Sorrow on that Lycanthrope. And then up top, you've got Kawaii Complex on the offlane Clockwork.
And just to go back to the items just for a second, the sentries were actually built by the Chen, right?
Yeah.
So so this is fine. I mean, Venge is going to walk around planting all this stuff and dewarding. Chen's going to do his thing in the jungle. Looking over so complexity on the Dire side, Swindle Melons is going to take the middle lane as Storm Spirit, very standard hero. Earlier on, we saw him playing Warlock, which is very, cutting edge, but now just the very, very standard hero that people love playing this patch. The Storm. Z-Freak with the Brood pick that you got quite excited about, I definitely agree. I think it's a strong pickup here. He's going to be in the offlane as the Broodmother, facing up against Frankie's Shadow Fiend. In the top lane, Fly is supporting on the Zeus. We talked about that a little bit. ZYZZY is going to be on the Troll, and that just leaves Riser to jungle on the Sand King.
Yep, so going to be kind of slow roll for him. He's got the boots up first as the ideal starting items for a 4-position Sand King, but yeah, he's still going to be taking a while to get to level 3 and getting those stacks out. Nothing Eastern hard camp, nothing on the Western, so yeah. His progression isn't perfect, but he's still going to be able to get there if he just gets a little bit of space. The question is whether or not EHUG allow that, as they are already kind of posturing for a very active early game. The Centaur making a move towards the Broodmother. She got pulled to Sentry Ward, and it is out of the radius that she wanted to clear out the one place by MJW.
Well, they had one here, and he did remove that,
so I got one.
So yeah, so he got one of them. He can be seen on this other one, but he'll quickly see where it is. They do also have a dust, so he does have to be very careful. But I don't know. It's not going to be the easiest thing to kill him just yet. SF is only level 2. He doesn't have level 2 raise. So, I mean, the thing about the Brood and why it's such a good pick here is because it generates so much laning pressure to keep the support static. Whereas you said before, they have a Sand King. Their counter gank, their defense is not very good. Those supports are going to find it hard to roam because they're going to want to keep the Brood down, but they want to roam because they want to keep the Storm in check as well.
Sure. So it is going to be TLK covering up the regen rune for the Storm Spirit. He just got his bottle out here, so Swindle will be able to use the full bottle, have the regen rune bottled up, and even once that's gone, he still has the full bottle. So at this point, I almost consider the lane just auto-1 for the Storm Spirit. Like, he's going to get to level 6, no problem at all. He's going to be sitting near full HP constantly, and even TLK just kind of roaming in, playing the role of the Harpy Stormcrafter, just throwing out a few lightnings here and there is going to be frustrating for the Lycan at the very least.
Harpy Stormcrafter is a lot more mana efficient, but even so, yeah, you're totally right. No, I think this Zeus is a pretty solid pickup here. They did have to work around it, but I think once they added the Brood, it really helped out a lot.
So, I mean, Clockwork's still getting his levels here. He's level 3.5, Brood's a little bit behind that, being forced back multiple times over, but he seems to have found a pretty nice nook right here in the trees. Like, even if you can get the detection in this area, it's not going to net you a very easy kill. Actually, up top, it's going to be Clockwork that most likely goes down, has the cogs available, but it's only going to pull them closer, and it's going to be First Blood going the way of ZYZZY on the Troll.
No, that's a great start. Definitely, this is a dangerous lane for the Clockwork relatively when the Sand King and the Zeus are up here. Obviously, Zeus high damage output, Troll extremely high damage output, and he was level 4, so he had basically everything you need, which is Fervor and 2 ranks of axes. So that's a solid start for complexity. The Sand King, as you mentioned earlier, Blaze, hasn't exactly had the fastest start, but he does have... There's a stack here, and obviously he was stacking the easy earlier, so he should be okay considering these supports are pretty much tied down here completely. They're not rotating, they're not blocking, there were no camps blocked at any point. Sand King, I don't know, it won't be the fastest blink ever, but there shouldn't be any real barriers to getting it, now that Clockwork isn't, like, winning the lane or anything.
Yep, so the Sandstorm will come out, and that is going to be just a nice little bit of golden experience, triple stack for him. He's going to be still progressing nicely, just because he gets to go for the boots only. Like, as long as Simba keeps on buying all these support items and barely goes for boots himself, then they're going to be in a great position to keep that momentum rolling. Now, we do have a little chase going here for the Broodmother. They have Dust, they have Magic Missile, and they can follow that up with the Thunderclap, but it's all about getting in range, and Z-Freak seems to be dancing around them quite nicely. I mean, he's been hiding in the trees when the creep wave is at Creequilibrium here. He's been dodging and just staying away from the Vengeful Spirit, and right back over that way. I think they know about it this time, though.
Yeah, and he got that early level 2 of his spin web, so when you have 2, you can just stack up, store the webs, so that you can drop 2 webs if you do try to get ganked, so I don't know. They can still maybe kill him, but it's not easy, and actually this is costing so much Chen time. If you look at the levels of the supports, the Chen is really, really struggling. I mean, Chen's a support who can actually level quite fast in the jungle, but right now Pandago's not even halfway through level 2. Whereas on the other side, the Sand King is already level 4, the Zeus is doing fine. And it's actually okay for the Zeus to be under level. It's not
Dive
really
coming in on mid. We're going to get the Burrow Strike very quickly. Even at this movement speed, it's hard to get out of this one. The haste, the last right click, and it will be Corey's death. Trying to Sandstorm under tower, though, means that the SK is going to be going down, too. Doesn't even cost MJW the Dust, just the TP. But obviously, the Lycan is the big kill there.
Well, that will be a level. That's like a level and a half almost revenge. So that's nice, but high-level Venge isn't going to really turn the game. The main thing is the Storm has now officially... I mean, you already unofficially declared that he won the lane. Now he has definitely officially won the lane. Swindle Melons is 11 creeps and a level up on Corey, and it's going to be really tough for Lycan, actually.
Oh, Z-Freak pops the salve to heal himself up a little bit, gets to about 20 HP after that raise, knocks it off, and yeah, it's a hefty 110 gold to waste, but it would have been a death otherwise, so actually really nice that he's able to survive, but he'll stay in the lane, using the webs, the Soul Ring, and Tango regen. He's actually going to be surviving here, just under invisibility. Would love to go for that regen rune, but with all of his webs placed on the lane, that seems like he's just walking the gauntlet.
Yeah, and Storm wants it too, so I don't think it would be a good idea for Z-Freak to go for it. But it's smart to stay. I mean, he's maxing webs, or at least he has 3 in web, which means his health regen is really good. So, I mean, I think it's fine. The nice thing for EHUG, though, is because of the sacrifice of the Chen XP, and really the Venge XP as well, the Shadow Fiend has already hit level 6. He has level 3 raise, which is what brought Broodmother solo in the first place. And he no longer really needs support intervention. Yeah, it'd be great to kill the Brood, and they're still going to try to do it, but the SF is not going to get dominated either. He's 49-29.
Okay, but even if they can find a way to pin down the Broodmother, there's another threat on the board I don't know if they have a great counter for. The Storm Spirit doesn't really have too many disables against him to lock him down. Like, they've got the Magic Missile and the War Stomp, but the Hookshot, that too, but overall it just seems like if the Storm has mana, he's going to survive.
No, I completely agree. They don't... I mean, the Clockwork is not a very effective hero against Storm Spirit for sure. Shadow Fiend is fine, but it really depends. It's really a race between how big the Storm Spirit is and how big the SF is. And the Lycan did diversify their threats to some extent, but he's kind of lost lane. He's not doing that much, and I think Troll is pretty good against Lycan. I mean, like, Lycan can get away, but he certainly can't kill the Troll, so...
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, I mean, they'll have to pick their battles very carefully, and they'll have some engagement tools very soon. Long-range initiation from Venge and Clockwork coming out pretty soon, but just already I feel like there's a lot of potential for Complexity to start controlling the map in general, and only a few fights won for EHUG.
Yeah, I mean, SF is going to have to carry enormous weight for EHUG to win this game, because they really, I mean, they have essentially a dual core with the Lycan and the Shadow Fiend, and Lycan's kind of, I mean, again, it's a Lycan on Radiant, so you have good map control, but not great roshing, so, I don't know. They actually pick up another kill on the Clockwork up top as well. Oh, he tried to interrupt this stack, which is not going to happen.
Yep, not at all. So the Storm just using his mana pretty well, and of course the last hit going to the Sand King, just good movement for him. He's going to have his Blink Dagger in no time at all. Like, he is actually just like one stack away from getting that blink, and what we thought was greedy is gonna just pay off very quickly. I mean, a 9-minute blink dagger for your Sand King, that can't be what EHUG had in mind with this draft. But we're gonna see top lane go down pretty quickly, just the Ring of Aquila, as well as the potential Battle Trance after fortification. This tier 1 tower is definitely gone, and from there, it's gonna be harder and harder for the EHUG to take a fight.
Yeah, no, I actually really like Complexity's draft over EHUG's, and especially after they added the Brood, because before that, yeah, there's this off chance that you just get crushed in lane, but with the Brood, it opens it up so well, and now they have this sort of, their like Pentacore ball, as it were, is already starting to roll a little bit, right? Whereas EHUG have these more limited mid-game focused heroes.
Might be able to find Z-Freak here. No swap available, but Dust, Magic Missile, yeah, don't even need all these cooldowns to bring him down. Good find on their part, and they definitely needed that kill.
Yeah, they absolutely did. You really want to get Infinity on the board, start getting him some kills as he farms, especially if he's going to go one of the more relatively greedy builds.
I believe the Broodmother is also going to be banking a Hand of Midas, so any kill you get to delay that is going to help your ability to deal with him in the future.
Yeah, I agree. I think that makes sense. He probably will go Midas. They're already succeeding at being greedy, so there's no reason not to be greedier. Like, it'll just win harder.
So, Tier 1 tower will go down pretty soon. Broodmother is looking for the deny here, but they've dropped the Sentry Ward just to say it's not going to happen, guys, and Shadow Fiend will get the last hit on that tower. But look at this convergence here. We've got the Troll, maybe just moving for Ancients, but with Swindlemelon picking up a Haste Rune, there's still a lot of potential for kills.
He's going Bloodstone first, so yeah, just greedy builds all around, especially if the Brood goes Midas, but it's going to be Bloodstone first for Storm. This is kind of fashionable now because people are playing Storm more and more like greed focused and not early kills focused, which I think there's a lot to be said for that. But you see less often the Orchid Rush, more often this sort of direct Bloodstone approach, which used to be thought of as very scrubby. But you know, if you have the space, you're getting kills, you're not dying. Sometimes it's a good idea.
Yeah. So we do have the Sand King with his Blink Dagger, level 7, 3301 is his skill build, and definitely was going to be a kill up top if the Clockwork remained, but whether he got just some spidey sense of what could be coming his way, or maybe he feels he's going to be more beneficial elsewhere, in either case, he's no longer there, and Sand King's going to have to kind of roam against him. Here's the smoke, looking at mid lane, can they bait him far enough into it?
I mean, Sand King now can spend a ton of time doing sort of goofy stuff like this, like waiting in smoke. Because he got his blink so quickly, he has a lot of minutes to make it count. It's not quite like a Bat Rider, like, as long as you get the blink quickly. Oh, here we go. SF's gonna die.
Yeah, very nice jump there. Epicenter, Burrow Strike, and Swindle jumping in. Hand of God is not going to help you out, and I mean, they probably just put the Sand King there expecting a 3-man push, as you would with this kind of a draft that needs to kill towers early. But in the end, they still get the Shadow Fiend, so that's not bad at all. Z-Freak gets time down bottom, and they get the tower kill thanks to the Troll Warlord. Like, this team is now in full control of the map.
Yeah, they're way ahead.
The Radiant Jungle, and probably Roche pretty soon. Like, once the Epicenter cools back down, you've got Roche in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the Brood, even though they don't have that much warding down on the bottom, the Brood essentially provides a ton of mobile wards, so you have a very good idea of what the other team's doing. The Troll is going to have acres of space. He's actually going to take an Invis-Rune. I don't think he goes directly in here, but at his leisure, once they have a little bit of more map control and they know that EHUG aren't crowding the bottom, they can definitely just go in and take Roche. And I mean, I don't know, I think Complexity are playing their lineup exactly correctly, and EHUG were really, I think, it seemed like they were really taken aback by the Brood pick. And they poured money into detection, didn't get a kill on him. Eventually they got a kill, but it was much later. Their laning phase was essentially wasted, and they were the team that was supposed to have a really strong laning phase. Definitely.
I'm absolutely certain that if Pandago hadn't been so worried about the Brood, then he would have a mechanism right now, and they could actually start trying to take fights. But as it is, he's moving his army around. He'll see the spiders farming. He'll get a couple down, but he still doesn't have enough AoE damage to finish the job. So, yeah, he gets a little bit of income, but not the amount he needs to tip him over to that next big pickup. And in the meantime, Troll farms a double stack of Ancients, and just in general, everybody's getting good golden experience on the side of Complexity.
Yeah, they're definitely commanding. I mean, you just look at some of these heroes, and you'd think at 13 minutes, Chen should have already made a major impact on the game. Clockwork should have made a major impact on the game. That's when these heroes shine. Instead, Clockwork hasn't done anything. He's died twice in lane. Pandago hasn't really been able to do anything. Granted, he was pressuring the Brood early, but they only cost the Brood maybe 1 level, and it was at the cost of like 3 Chen levels, so...
Exactly. I mean, Quiet Complex is not going to connect with a hook shot the way he wanted to up against a TLK up top, but you just even look at the state that Zeus is in right now. He was roaming around at level 1, level 2, just making sure they won their lanes, and suddenly he gets some time up on the top lane while Troll takes towers and Ancients, and now TLK is up to level 8. He's got Soul Ring Trinkles. Like, you don't really need much more than that. Force Staff is probably going to be his next pickup, but even before that, like, it's not that big of a deal. He's a 5-position Zeus, and he's shining.
Yeah, for sure. And that's just a testament to how much space they were able to generate, and the fact that they've only lost one tower, and it's their least important tower. It's the one down here. Because that's not going to generate more space for EHUG to farm in. If I'm EHUG right now, I mean, the tough thing is they already have been trying what they need to do, which is to take control of their own jungle, push the Brood out of it if they can, and then try to sort of seize this area of the map so maybe they can eventually sneak a Roche or take some towers. Instead, Corey's going to die again mid. It's pretty much a trivial kill.
Well, the Storm just was going to just pick up his Bloodstone, but he's still 200 gold off of it, so just using what he has built into his kit. I mean, level 11 is a great time to gank, but diving that deep, it's because they don't have any control against him. Just the amount of mana he has plus the Soul Ring, and just no way to react to these situations. The mechanism would have saved Corey's life, but it's, again, delayed because of the Broodmother, and it's just this butterfly effect of agony for EHUG.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean, Frankie is going to have his... So he got a Yules. I mean, obviously he doesn't have a Blink. He's actually making part of a BKB on top of the Yules, which I think is very, very justifiable against Zeus, Storm, Sand King, and even to some extent Troll. But I don't think any of that really makes a material difference. The one thing that's going to make a difference is if they can somehow get some of these lower impact mid-game heroes to get a couple of kills on Brood, or find somebody out so they can regain map control. Because right now they have poor vision. In fact, they have atrocious vision. They have poor map control, and they're underdeveloped in terms of farm, which tends to lead to smoke ganks to try to flip that around.
Yeah, they're just kind of going in blind, trying to finish off this Roche before Complexity get the chance.
No.
Epicenter being on cooldown, this actually might work out for them.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah, they should be able to get it, because the Vlad's... Okay, this is a good move, I think.
Yeah, and they did that, like you said, blind. They didn't have any vision, but they just smoke up, and the Wolves were scouting for them. So they go in, they're doing a lot of damage to Troll Warlord, the hook, the cogs, and the swap back. They're actually going to be able to bring him down. Riser just unable to do anything here. He will be able to blink dodge the magic missile, but momentum is suddenly found for EHUG as they take down the tier 1 tower after taking Roche in the 1 position for Complexity. This is really quite surprising that they were able to find that, but the big thing was the Epicenter being on cooldown, and I didn't even see where he wasted it.
Well, wasn't it still down from the kill on...
I feel there was enough time. I mean, 140 seconds, it's like 2 minutes, 20 seconds. It's not that much time. I feel like he used it well on Shadow Fiend mid and then wasted it elsewhere.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, I think it was a really smart sneak. They absolutely needed something because they were about to basically lose. They did have, because Lycan rushed Vlad's, I mean, you want to use that in some way. And Shadow Fiend had been leveling quite well, so he actually, I think, had 1 rank of Presence of the Dark Lord, which also helps your Roche a bit. So they were just like, hey, you know, we can kill Roche really quickly.
Yep, it's going to be Swindle Melons to find the kill onto the clock. We're pretty low on mana here. He gets used up by Infinity, but still having enough regen to get out of here, no problem. So
and he has Bloodstone.
Yeah, has the Bloodstone. The Clockwork hasn't been able to finish the Blade Mail yet, so it was just a really easy pick-off for him. And the fact that he's so comfortable going in behind enemy lines like this, it's not just the fact that they have wards in place in really aggressive positions, it's the fact that he just is a hero that thrives in this kind of environment. It's like Abyssal Blade is the time where he starts actually worrying about his situation, and like you pointed out, the Lycan has Vlad's.
Right, they have very little to punish him. You're absolutely right about that. On the flip side, EHUG, now that they got a little bit of momentum and now that they have the Aegis on Lycan, they can at least take towers. Yeah. That's critically important for them. They need to be able to clear out a bunch of these outer towers. This will be the second one that they've taken with the Aegis. That's great, I think. I mean, that's really, really important for them.
Yeah, but when do they start actually going for the tier 2s? Up against the Sand King, even when you have this Aegis, you still have to be a little bit concerned that
stuff like this happens.
Yeah. And MJW going to be trying to swap out just 1 hit from death. The Requiem is not going to come in time, and it is going to be Swindle going down, suiciding, so he doesn't give up that kill streak. He's on a killing spree, keeps that alive, and wastes all the time up top while the Troll keeps farming. So Storm's back up in just a few seconds here. He did, of course, lose quite a few Bloodstone charges there, but... Yeah.
It's actually, stuff like that is actually part of why an early Bloodstone is getting popular these days, because, yeah, he loses some charges, but if he wasn't, I mean, paradoxically, if he didn't have a Bloodstone by now, like, if he went Orchid first, he wouldn't have the charges to lose, right? Like, it's just a couple of charges that he loses, and the flip side is he gets another kill, 4 people rotate to try to stop him, he doesn't give them anything. The allied denial is so strong on it.
Sure. And now you just have to be worried, if you're the support of EHUG, where do you actually feel safe except under tower? Like, the Storm could jump you, the Brood can jump you, Sand King plus Thunder God's Wrath has some good kill potential. Like, if they see you and you're not with one of your core heroes to turn the fight, like, you're already dead. And that's...
I mean, Chen might live, depending on what's around and what kind of creeps he has. Venge definitely will not.
Yeah, I don't even know about the Chen, honestly. Like, 350 MS, no, like, 4 staff or anything.
Yeah, but he's got a PB mech. I don't know. If he has his heal up and he has, like, a Stomper, like a Centaur Conqueror, he might be okay.
Sure, okay. Yeah, if the army is involved there, and hopefully it should be. But, yeah, as a whole, it's hard to actually get control with, just for example, wards. We have MJW had 3 obs, 3 sentries just now, and if he's trying to place those in anything but the most defensive of positions, it's going to be scouted out and he's going to be killed. But speaking of scouting, Thunder God's Wrath just gonna get understanding of the map so that the Z-Freak Brood can push on forward into the jungle and just take full control. It looks like Riser actually might be picked off here. We've got the hook shot heading that direction, and it's just gonna be a blink out.
I mean, even if they kill Riser, they might get Z-Freak. That would actually be really good. But he's using his...
There we go.
Yeah, they got him. That's a great kill, actually, because they get every single, or at least like 90% of his Spiderlings as well, which is a lot of gold. And just getting that Aegis, even though they only really got 2 towers off of it, was so critical to delaying the momentum of Complexity, because if Complexity had an Aegis right now, they'd be running roughshod over EHUG. Instead, EHUG is, I mean, they're not anything I'd call winning, but they're delaying losing pretty well.
Yeah, how does Corey get out of this one? He has the Aegis, he has his Shapeshift, he'll try to pop it off here, and Swindle's going to take a sweet time, but he might just run right back into him, doesn't see Swindle's approach, and the Electro Vortex is going to be coming in, locking him down, doing the damage, and Corey needs the Hand of God just to survive. Swindle goes for the long jump, one more right click, one more ball, it's not going to kill him, still so fast, good swap to mess up Storm Spirit's targeting, and suddenly Swindle exhausts his entire mana pool. They go in hard, and it's still going to be Corey to survive.
Yeah, actually, without the swap, I think Corey does die. But they keep him up, which is great. One other thing happened, I don't know if you caught it.
Nope.
At the same time as they started the gank on Corey top, the Clockwork was chasing the Zeus. So he was chasing Fly near the bottom river, and I thought Zeus was absolutely for sure dead. Clockwork was about to hit his hookshot, or I think actually Clockwork was delaying hookshot until the last possible moment to guarantee the kill. He hookshots, and then from the high ground, Riser burrow strikes him, and Fly manages to force staff away. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, very nice movement from them. They just have so much more speed than EHUG do. They have the Force Staff, they have Blinks and Burrows and Balls, and Stroll with 452 MS before Phase Booth is active.
Troll Warlord.
Yeah, like, just go ahead, dominate yourself a Kobold, get that Speed Aura up, and just run circles around EHUG. Because, honestly, Swap and Clockwork is the only way they can commit to these fights.
Yeah, no, I mean, Lycan certainly moves extremely quickly when he's in ultimate form, which helped him a lot against the Storm Spirit there. But yeah, your Shadow Fiend, no Blink Dagger, relatively immobile hero. Your Venge, other than her swap, which is still level 1 because she's level 9 overall. And Chen, obviously. Chen can bring things to himself, but it's not like this is the Pubstar Blink Chen. He's just building a solid Aghanim Scepter to transition into the late game. So, yeah, no, I agree with you completely, Blaze. Complexity right now, not only do they have more farm and map control, they also just are much faster at moving from place to place and objective. But ZYZZY, I think, might be dead.
Yeah, Hookshot will connect, so it looks like he is going to be going down. Pretty tanky, going to try to man-fight it, but the Blade Mail makes it impossible. So yes, he will be going down. The Force Staff from TLK just out of range, and that is going to be really nice.
Farming the enemy Ancients with no vision is a very confident move that he was making there. And yeah, I think EHUG, actually, they should be able to transition that into a tier 2 tower. The Troll is not going to want to buy back for a tier 2. I don't think he will.
Riser's got a smoke. I mean, the level 2 Epicenter might just be enough here. They've got no Hand of God for 15 seconds. This could be Riser's time to shine. They're pinging it out on the high ground, but it's got to be a Wave of Terror to cancel the Blink Blind. But in the end, it's just going to be spreading the map, them... yeah, like you said, not willing to commit the Troll Warlord buyback, and as such, not finding a way to turn it back their favor.
It's not really worth it, I think. It's better to just leave it and let the tier 2 go down. Like, the Troll, if the Troll's up, it's one thing, but having to spend the Troll buyback for kills that you might not even not get. Like, you might buy the Troll back and kill, like, the Venge and the Chen, but the Lycan walks away at max movement speed, and then it's like, I don't, that probably wasn't worth it for us. really important moves for EHUG in general, catching out that over-aggression, over-greed swindle. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Yeah.
There's just no way. Like you said earlier, Blaze, like they don't really have a way of catching the Storm unless he lets himself be caught.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing with fire a little bit, running out of mana pretty dry multiple times over this game, but generally speaking, he's going to have it, and if he built the Lincolns, he's pretty much immortal, because the Abyssal Blade won't even be enough to connect, so he can't be swapped back, stuff like that, but he's probably still could go for the aggressive build and go for the Hex.
Yeah, I think Hex is probably the right call. Lincolns will be funny, but I don't know. I think Scythe is really strong because it's not like Lycan is going to go BKB anytime soon, right? He still has to finish Necro 3. He's got Necro 2 right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to, I think, is Corey's sacrifice progression for the Shadow Fiends. And Shadow Fiend was the one position who got a lot of farm in the safe lane, got a lot of coverage from his supports, and through that investment, what have they really gotten out of him? Blink, Yule's, BKB. He can fight pretty well if it's a full 5-on-5, but Complexity seemed to be just focused on pickoffs and spreading the map.
Yeah, I mean, Blink Yules is... Oh no, actually they might lose Corey. That would be huge.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, he's not even going to try to go for the shapeshift play. He is just getting gunned down by all these lightning spells, and that's a very key pickoff. Could be a hook shot. No, the Clockwork's in mid. The one here you really need to gank, but still the Yule... Yeah, Yule's clap. Z-Freak's HP just evaporates, and I don't consider that an even exchange, but it's something.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is a kill for the Shadow Fiend, which is who you want to get fatter and fatter. And also, when you spend this Blink Yules build, when you spend 5k on this, you had better be getting like easy solo kills on cores. Otherwise, it just doesn't really validate itself as a build. So it's a critical kill to help him develop, but losing the Lycan consistently is definitely a pain.
Yeah, they tried to go for Roche on the back of that, but everybody's pretty much right nearby here. The Sand King's ready to fight. The Troll's in here. He dominates one of the Chen creeps, kills off the other one, and yeah, at this point, what can you do? We've got the Holy Persuasion, maybe steals it back. No, we're going to see a hookshot come through onto the Storm Spirit. Gets Yuled up again. Burrow Strike will kill off the Venge early on in this fight, and just kind of running in circles, kind of drawing the line in the sand with these cogs. It leaves Complexity to the Roche pit, and it makes it a very hard EHUG invade.
So the problem here is
it's not over yet. We have ZZY. There's the hookshot coming into Riser. Just 2 raises needed to bring him down, but he 4-staffs out. He's gonna be chased down by the Necronomicon, fast as ever with the shapeshift, and it looks like he will be going down with the last right click. Yes, Dagon just to try to kill the Necro and save him, getting rid of that True Sight, but in the end, just taking a lot of pure damage in return. Now the Troll, the Lycan, going trading it out. Lots of bashes coming out onto Corey, and the 4-staff is not enough. Kawaii Complex, he's going to block him out with the cogs, but 4-staff is on CD, and he'll be going down just so the Troll. Storm zipping in. He is back into the fray with the Bloodstone, and he will be going for another kill here. Doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get the Chen. Hex out of MJW, sets up the Burrow Strike. Sand King bought back into the game, and will be killing off MJW whilst the Roche falls to the rest of Complexity. A hell of a fight from them. Really, really solid play. Great buyback from the Sand King, and just, I mean, EHUG were so spread and so low, they really just couldn't get anything offensive accomplished in that fight.
Yeah, it's partially that. It's partially the heroes. It's partially that, I mean, the Necros ran off chasing Sand King. They got the kill, which is great, but then you have to run those Necros all the way back to participate in the fight, and that's a substantial portion of Corey's damage. The other thing is, so I know that this is the build, and I know it's like heretical at this point to say that it's not always right, but I feel like actually that fight was lost because they didn't have Requiem cooldown, and when you go this Blink Yules BKB, Requiem's like your only thing that does stuff. Like you have no auto attack presence, you just have your raises, which yes, you have great mana regen, you can raise much more often than a Shadow Fiend who went, you know, damage items, but not having Requiem actually made it so that EHUG didn't have sustain in the fight, nor did they really have burst. Because against a Troll Warlord, you actually really want the damage reduction from Requiem as well as the slow. And against anybody else, you want the damage from Requiem. Without having either of those, Complexity knew that sooner or later they were gonna win the fight.
Yeah, MJW has 2 points of swap. They get the Yules against them, so it looks like the Zeus will be going down, but we're going to be seeing the reinforcements run on in. Z-Freak's got some hard nuke, but no prey will be easy enough. Storm maybe has the haste rune, and with a haste rune, he's pretty much a god, just running around, unable to be locked down in any capacity, but still, he is going to choose his battles wisely and fall back from here. So simply a Zeus pickup. But I completely agree with you. This build is very ulti-centric, and the best case scenario if you don't have that ulti up is a plus 72 damage from this hero, and obviously the negative armor aura. Like, you hit okay, but you could be hitting a lot harder with just one more right-click item. Storm! Oh, the hook shot! Setting it up! Magic missile as well! Nice. That is going to be a Requiem as they just destroy that Storm Spirit, and the Bloodstone's the only thing keeping that from being a critical kill. Like, if he was down for 50 seconds, that would be insane, but he's respawning, they're taking to tier 2. It almost feels like the pickoff didn't happen at all.
Right. I mean, it's a great kill. It was really good coordination of Clockwork to jump in right to make sure that the Storm Spirit wasn't able to zip after coming down from the Yules. And yeah, I mean, that's when you feel like, hey, why would I ever not build Blink Yules? You could just frag people. But on the flip side, they lose a tower for it, and they don't gain a tower in trade. So 1 kill for losing a tower and opening Brood up to start pressuring your tier 3 is a little bit nerve-wracking, definitely, if you're EHUG.
Yeah, I mean, Z-Freak's going to be finishing up his Dagon 4, maybe Dagon 5, or could be Blade. We've seen Z-Freak build a couple of different ways with the Broodmother, but yeah, the most common is to get a few points in that Dagon and then just jump up to Ethereal, and you've got an insane combo between your Spawn Spiderlings and the lasers. So, combo that up with Sand King. Anybody without a BKB is pretty much dead, and yeah, you could take a huge critical hero out of the fight. The Lycan, he's so far behind.
Yeah, and Lycan also, ever since his nerf several patches ago that took off the bonus HP from Shapeshift, he's a squishy guy for a strength hero. I mean, compared to, you know, your Centaurs of the world or something, his strength gain is okay. It's 2.8, but it's not amazing.
Playing around 28 regen. The Yules is on the Dire Creep! Oh, poor confused Dire Creep. Doesn't know what hit him, but the Storm Spirit is able to dodge a bullet there. They definitely had the combo with that hookshot again.
Yeah, they could have definitely strung it together. Frankie's going to be kicking himself for that for sure. Because if they got the Storm, then his Bloodstone would be not nullified, but taken down to a very low amount of charges. Definitely. It's unfortunate.
Still controlling both jungles very efficiently here. Zeus finds his way up to level 14. Definitely wants 2 points on that ultimate, but it looks like he's going to have Yules himself after that 4-staff, and in the meantime, Z-Freaks, he's covering the Radiant side. He's got 184 CS. He's 4th in net worth despite the commitment they put to him in the offlane. And
he's above Corey.
Yeah, they're just rolling in gold right now. It's actually like an 18 grand net worth advantage, and the experience is even higher.
Yeah, this is going to... I mean, it's very, very hard for EHUG to win, and they know that. They have a more 5-manning focused composition, more tower taking that they haven't taken that many towers on. They do have mid clear up to the tier 3, so if they do win a big fight... Oh man, Brood sniped a courier. Nothing on it, but even so.
Yeah, so... Just a nice little pick off there. The Gem of True Sight still on the Vengeful Spirit. This Broodmother doesn't really get much out of it, but it's still just another point of frustration. Like, it's salt in the wounds here, as they're barely able to branch out beyond this kind of small squad formation they have going for themselves right now, and not even the delivery man can do something without being molested.
I mean, yeah, they really can't. If you're EHUG right now, you're waiting for Complexity to overcommit or make a mistake. You're taking the farm you can, primarily on Shadow Fiend. You're hoping to find somebody out. You're kind of waiting for the 3rd Rosh, because they have proven that they can contest Rosh. It's not just totally free. That's the nice thing about having Lycan, obviously.
TLK has the 4-staff available. The Yules as well. Will he be able to get out? Cog's gonna be hitting on him, dropping down to 400 HP, but the follow-through is actually from the Storm Spirit. Swindlemelon's right at MJW. The sendback is not gonna be in time. No, the Hand of God almost makes it so, but still Swindle keeps going. Kawaii Complex, no Blade Mail. No, just now getting the Cogs. He will be able to bail himself out for a short time, but he's almost just in the penitentiary as we see Riser coming in with a big burrow strike here, and the nukes fly out. Corey on the run, taking some hits. It looks like he'll survive, but Shadow Fiend falls. He gets taken out despite the BKB. The summons coming in from the Troll War, or from the Lycanthrope, trying to finish off Swindle, but the missed chance from the Troll Warlord, as well as his bottle regen, keeps him alive. They get the gem, they get 4 kills, and EHUG gets nothing.
Yeah, he tracked down Lycan all the way back here. So
oh, really? He died too. Holy crap. Rip and pepperonis. Like, what do you do in this situation? You can't fight like that.
I don't think they should have tried to go for the kill and fly. It's just the likelihood that the Zeus doesn't even get off at ult is pretty low, and it was a gank with Clock and Venge, so you're gambling your gem for a Zeus at best. Like, they're not gonna, even if they kill the Zeus, they're not gonna get like 3 kills. I don't know, I think it was little bit of questionable decision making maybe from EHUG. I think they had to play. I mean, it's really hard when you're this behind against a team that's as annoying as Troll Storm. Like, you just want to do things. You're like, the worst thing we could do is slowly lose, but maybe slowly losing was the right call because now they're quickly losing.
Yeah, one way or another, losing is losing, though, and this game has felt like it was out of their hands for quite some time now. I mean, we chalked it up, like, the early part of the draft for Complexity looked really good. Like, the way that the EHUG...
For EHUG, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, for EHUG, where they were able to get just a really good structural core and support of heroes that could respond to Complexity as a whole, but as the draft progressed, we saw there were a couple heroes that they just really didn't have the answer to. The Broodmother and the Storm Spirit. Broodmother early, and Storm once he got his level 6. And we've seen that throughout the entire game, that the only course of action is to commit at least 2 ultimates to him and catch him out of position.
No, I mean, you hate to say it, but the 5th picks were very decisive, I think. One team picks Lycan, who's... I don't think Lycan... Some people say Lycan's really bad. Now, I don't think Lycan's bad, but... You're picking him into 2 heroes that he's never going to kill, really. He's until Abyssal, he's not going to kill Storm Spirit. He's really not going to kill Troll ever. He'll get away from him. So you pick this Lycan, he's okay. He gives you Roche presence, he gives you some map pressure. The other team picks Broodmother. So Broodmother was an amazing pick because it totally takes away the threat of roam. It ties down the Chen and Venge. It gives you just vastly more laning presence. It opens up the map. It makes the other team get detection. And it's another hero that Lycan can't kill or do anything against. So, like, it wasn't completely determined by the draft, but I do think the 5th picks for EHUG was fairly weak and the 5th pick for Call was very strong, and they just played it properly.
Yep, now they are just backs against the wall here, trying to get some control of the map whatsoever, but you just fed away your Gem of True Sight. The Zeus already had very limited True Sight issues, and they've got a good aggressive ward that's been up here for quite some time. Like, this is obviously like the 2nd or 3rd time they've placed on the western plateau there, and that's given them great opportunities to gank on the top lanes. Yeah, I feel like the way out of this pit is, oh gosh, another gank onto the Clockwork here in mid. Does get the send back, but it's not going to be enough healing to actually keep him out of it. Pandago pops the mech, no Hand of God. He'll go down, and they just used Avenge for a subsequent kill. He's Shiva's, he's jumped on, and it's going to be Lycan to try to turn. Nice Burrow Strike, though, keeps Storm Spirit in it. Corey's actually going down, too. MJW and Corey both dropping low. And Shadow Fiend dropped down on bottom, thanks to the E-Blade Dagon combo. He
didn't even have time to BKB. Like, that's how hard and fast that hit him. Between the Zeus ult and the Brood, all of Brood's damage. That's just... Once you lose your Shadow Fiend like that, like once he's dying in a second, it's pretty much over. And that's exactly what they're going to say. They're going to call it.
Good game, well played, comes out from Complexity for EHUG. I'm sorry, I'm messing this up here, but yeah, it concludes the game with Complexity taking it 20-10 here at 36 minutes 40 seconds. They played a hell of a game, just really emphasizing the strengths of their draft, spreading it out, avoiding 5v5s unless it's on the defensive with the epicenter. And as a whole, they were able to control EHUG's early game very well. And from there, the draft just played itself out. So really nice action for Complexity. And what do you think we're going to be seeing for Game 2?
EHUG is going to look at primarily the drafting stage. I think even their general strategy didn't really pan out because they were like, well, they're probably going to pick greedy, which is a fair guess. Complexity frequently plays pretty greedy draft phases. Laning phases. So they were like, we'll punish their greed by doing like a 5-man tower taking composition. Even the theory didn't really work. I mean, they didn't really take that many towers until later when they did like a desperation smoke rush. If that didn't happen, this would be like really one-sided. So I think they're going to just rejigger the draft, try to play differently. I don't think they played that much worse. I think they were at a huge disadvantage and they didn't manage to like overwhelm Complexity, but I don't think they played like garbage or anything.
Yeah. I think the only thing of note really is Z-Freaks outplaying them in the tree line. The way he really moved around that bottom lane in the trees was a level above EHUG, but beyond that,
Riser played really well too. Really good map movement as Sand King. He got the first blood and he still got like he got like a 8-minute blink. Like he stacked. He was doing really well.
All right, guys. Well, Game 2 is going to be coming up here in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Beyond the Summit for the iLeague American Qualifier. Real quick, if you guys have any feedback about the stream, this is my first time streaming in quite a while. Camera is obviously a bit shaky, but you can go ahead, tweet some feedback at BlazeCasting and at Vykromond for my co-cast here. Thanks for tuning in.